Welcome to Making Memoir Magic, the podcast where we unlock the power of your story and guide you through the magical process of turning life experiences into memoirs that inspire and impact. I'm your host, Carrie Kreisman, a memoir mentor and storytelling champion, and I'm here to help you find the courage to embrace your unique story and share it with the world. Whether you're just starting out or refining your final draft, this is the place to be for practical tips, inspiration, and the encouragement you need to write the memoir only you can tell. Ready to make some magic? Let's dive in. Hey there, and welcome to Making Memoir Magic, where life stories are not just remembered, they're honored, shaped, and shared. I'm Carrie Kreisman, author, memoir mentor, and storytelling champion. I am also a firm believer that your story matters more than you know. Today's episode is all about how to create and write your memoir while living a busy life. I'm going to tell you how you can create a writing habit in just 5 days. That's right, 5 days. And I'm going to invite you to be part of a special video series that you can sign up for that will jumpstart your memoir project and get you off on the right foot, either reviving a stagnant work in progress or getting started with nothing but a blank page. So if you've got a story living inside of you, but you feel like you're stuck in the slow lane, or worse, you feel like you're sitting at the gas station with the keys in your hand, but no idea how to start the car, this one's for you. So grab your coffee. I've got my double espresso latte with oat milk made at home in my Nespresso. This is not an ad for Nespresso. I just love my machine. She just turned 7 and she never lets me down. But grab whatever makes you happy. Grab a coffee, iced tea, water, or if you're out walking, get your headphones on. Let's talk about how to finally create a writing habit, even in the middle of your beautifully chaotic and overcommitted life. Now, let's be honest. Most of us don't start writing because we've already skipped to the end. We think of the finished book, the printed pages, the agent, the publishing deal. We also think of the fear of judgment. We wonder, who would even care about this? That's the voice that creeps in and wakes us up at 2 a.m. This is all normal. What I mentioned about the finished book, the printed pages, the agent, and the publishing deal, even thinking about seeing your books on shelves, that's called future pacing. And there's nothing wrong with that. But if that is all you're focusing on, then you're not getting the work done. And you sit and you're stagnant. And then those fears and that imposter syndrome creeps in. Because when you've already mentally leapt to the finish line, the starting line feels exhausting. But here's the truth that no one tells you loud enough. The truth is, your memoir doesn't get written overnight. It gets written in minutes. Now, that doesn't mean you finish it in minutes. It's what I call memoir minutes. Writing your story is like a summer road trip. You don't get from Florida to California in 1 hour. You get there by logging the miles, one after another. You stop for snacks. You refuel. You take detours, but you keep going. And finally, you arrive. That's how I wrote my memoir, Accidental First Lady. Not in one glorious month of inspiration, but in early mornings or evenings after dinner instead of binge watching Netflix. I gave myself voice memos while I was sitting in car line or at a son's golf tournament or at dance class when I didn't have my laptop with me, but I had my phone, I had my voice memos. I scribbled notes if I didn't have a phone next to me or something, whatever it takes, because you never know when the inspiration is going to strike. And in full transparency, it took me 3.5 years to write my memoir, and there is no timeline on that. You will hear other memoir coaches and teachers tell you that you can write a memoir in 6 weeks, and maybe you can. Maybe if you hole up in a cabin or at a self-imposed writing retreat, maybe you can do that. And I'm not going to say that you can't, but I will tell you that writing a book is a process, and there will be starts and stops. There will be interruptions. There will be times when you just don't feel like writing. There could be life interruptions that happen. I had cancer in 2019 and 2020, and I went through chemotherapy. And while I was grateful to manage that process pretty easily, all things considered, um, there were just some days I didn't feel like writing. I was tired. My head was foggy. And what I did instead was I planned, I researched publishers and agents. I practiced a query letter because that was different than doing the hard brain work of writing a memoir that is mined from your memories. So, with all of this in mind, and with my experience of what I learned through writing my memoir, I created something that I call Memoir in Minutes. It's a free 5-day video series that helps you build a memoir writing habit without already needing your book contract, a perfect outline, or 10 free hours a day. Because let's face it, most of us don't have that. Some of us, like me, don't even like to outline. It doesn't mean I wasn't organized. I made lists. I had structure. I had sticky notes. I don't like to outline. But every morning for 5 days, when you sign up to receive Memoir in Minutes, I'm going to send you a 60-second video that arrives in your inbox. So once you sit down to look at your emails, or whether you're out on a walk or over coffee or ready to tackle the day, open your inbox, click on the email, listen to the message from me, and it will help you craft that schedule that you are probably looking for, that structure that you need to make progress. So that's it. Each video is 1 minute, but it's one tiny nudge to help you remember that you are allowed to write messy, that your voice is worth listening to, that writing can feel good again, and that you don't need to figure it all out today. Each video will include a tip, a spark of inspiration, and a gentle push. We're not outlining your book in 5 days. We're looking for your rhythm. We're easing back into writing with grace and intention. And here's a secret I want to tell you. When you show up for 5 days, even briefly, your brain starts to shift. The resistance loses its grip, and you stop waiting for permission, and you start remembering how good it feels to tell the truth on paper. Trust me, when you sit down and you write, even if it's only for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever you have, you're going to move through the rest of your day or finish your evening out with the feeling that you accomplished something, you moved the needle, you made progress on the story that you are trying to tell, the one that lives inside of your heart and your head, that you're trying to share through memoir. So I can't say enough about this process because it's easy, it's short, it doesn't take a lot of time, but it gives you what you need, that oomph, that push. And don't we all need that sometimes? I know I've been there. I know what it feels like when the words feel stuck, or your story feels too heavy, or worse, you think it's unimportant. Now, I have a lot of feelings about that, and I'm going to tell you that your story is important. It is valuable. It deserves to be shared. And your readers are waiting. There is someone out there who needs to hear your story. But sometimes self-doubt and lack of structure can create writer's block. And writer's block is real. Some people will try to tell you that it's a myth, but it happens. And it's not laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. Sometimes writer's block is fear dressed up in a bathrobe. Sometimes it's perfectionism whispering that the words aren't good enough before they're even written. Here's what helped me, and here's what I teach my students. Movement creates momentum. Okay? Movement creates momentum. A single sentence scribbled on a napkin counts. One memory described in 2 lines counts. That email draft where you accidentally started a chapter, that counts too. Memoir in Minutes is built on that philosophy. Small moments, small efforts, but meaningful ones. I'm not asking you to climb a mountain. I'm walking with you for the first mile. Because if you can walk a mile, you can walk 5. And if you can write for 5 days, you can write for 50. So let me ask you something. What would it feel like to give yourself 5 minutes a day to remember your story? Not to polish it, not to sell it, just to witness it. What could shift in your life if you believed that your lived experience is worthy of the page? Because it is. Writing a memoir isn't about becoming famous, and it's not necessary to be famous in order to write your memoir. It's about becoming free. It's about understanding where you've been so you can move forward with more grace, more courage, and more clarity. When I wrote my book, I didn't have a roadmap, but I did have moments like these that brought me back to the page, one word at a time. So I have an invitation for you. If you're listening to this and nodding along, thinking, yes, I want to write, but life is so full, I don't have time. You do. And that's why I made Memoir in Minutes just for you. It's free, it's simple, and it might be just the thing that helps you go from thinking about writing to writing. So head to the link in my bio and sign up for Memoir in Minutes. And I didn't mean to say my bio. I'm used to saying link in bio. Head to the link in my show notes and sign up for Memoir in Minutes. It starts the moment you're ready. You've got a story. You've lived a life. Now let's get it on the page, minute by minute. I'll see you in your inbox. And until next time, keep writing, remembering, and keep showing up for your story every day. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Making Memoir Magic. I hope today's conversation inspired you to take the next step toward telling your unique story through memoir. Remember, your story matters, and someone out there is waiting to hear it. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. It helps others find the show. You can also connect with me at my website, carriekreisman.com, on social media, on Instagram at Make Memoir Magic, or join my Facebook group, Making Memoir Magic for Aspiring Writers. You'll get more tips and inspiration on your memoir journey. Until next time, keep writing, keep sharing, and keep making memoir magic.